How fast does it go? 146!
Hello everyone who's ever wanted to make a tank turret swing from side to side. I am BorderWise, and welcome back to From the Depths. And the final-ish entry in What Makes a Good Vehicle. We're on to tanks finally. However, I am so damn rusty with designing tanks and building them and using them that I've had to call in backup. All the way from Canada, it's everyone's favorite keeper of the lore and VTuber, RorstenVT. Rorsten, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm RorstenVT. Some of you might know me as the curator of the Ashes campaign. Yes, that means all I do is tanks, but BorderWise still gets to have fun with canoes. But yes, I'm excited to talk about tanks today because I get to build a lot of tanks. I very rarely get to talk about what goes into their design.
Well, golden opportunity for you. So to start off with, Rorsten, I can't help but notice that we're looking at a tank right now. Do you mind explaining this tank and why it's a good tank?
Alright, so this tank here is the Scarab. It is considered the main battle tank of the Steel Empire, which is allegedly the toughest faction in Ashes. We haven't done Lightning Hoods yet, so just ignore that. But so for the Steel Empire's tank here, the Scarab is pretty much what I use as my yardstick when it comes to designing a vehicle in Ashes. So for every factions that are MBTs, I normally try to make them weaker than the Scarab. The exceptions to this will be the Lightning Hoods, which will be on par because they just revolted and split off lore-wise. And probably Onyx Watch, just because Onyx Watch gets so much more volume. But when it comes down to the Scarab, it's a good generalist tank build. Obviously its armor scheme will get beaten by some skew builds, but if you're going to hard counter a design, then what can we do as designers, right? Like, I'm not going to make it invincible to everything within 2.5k volume.
Yes, people would struggle enough with this as it is. Like, your Khopesh, I was already struggling to make a tank to beat that one-on-one, so no, like, please don't make this invincible. We're suffering enough out here.
Yeah, the Khopesh will be getting that update soon to make it even better, so I'm excited to see how you respond to that. But, yeah, so actually, talking about the Khopesh, it's a great segue here, because I want to explain the difference between the... hello? There we go. I want to explain the difference between the toughest tank, or the toughest MBT. I'll be using MBT as the design here, because obviously there's going to be easier vehicles in Ashes for both factions, like SE and People Guard.
Yeah, and
but the Khopesh...
disclaimer for the viewer, by the way, vehicle categorization in From the Depths is always a bit of a pain in the butt, because you have so much more creative freedom in From the Depths than, like, real-life designers do, so tank, or MBT, is, I don't know, it's kind of a catch-all term for thing that drives on land and fights and shoots. So you can probably extrapolate all this to whatever kind of thing you, like, want, really. Like, if you wanted to make, like, a walker, for instance, that is roughly the size and performance of this, probably a few of the things we'll be discussing will be applicable. So just, there's the disclaimer of people are gonna argue in the comments about what defines a tank, because they always do this. Alright, carry on,
also, if anyone manages to make a walker that's the same, like, functionality as the Scarab, please let me know. I want that shit.
Oh, I want it too.
But yeah, so let's compare the quote-unquote strongest versus the quote-unquote weakest. So Khopesh, the main thing here is that MBTs so far in the campaign, you can see that they have a pretty consistent. They have a main gun. Khopesh has two because it wanted to be upgunned. And then it has some sort of active defense. The Scarab has missiles and missile interceptors, I believe. The Khopesh definitely has only missile interceptors. That's what that big bank at the back is. And they came with the same design philosophy, is that these are meant to be, somewhat armored. Like, the Khopesh has one layer of heavy armor with a bunch of metal wedges, which is really funny to me, because people go like, how am I supposed to get for the armor? It's like, it's literally made out of metal. But, and then the Scarab is a mix of heavy wedges and ERA in a proprietary blend that Paddock and his crew did when they built it.
Yeah, look at this. So, this is actually quite clever. Because ERA has that thing of, like, an armor-piercing chemical shell. A few patches ago, it's made it so that, like, ERA will detonate it early, which means that this thing will take at least one shot from, like, even the most stupidly powerful, like, APHE railgun will get stopped by this. So that's... I keep forgetting ERA exists in From the Depths. That's my bad.
Yeah, Yeah, it's a good little system they got there. And while like it's not going to counter everything, it is probably the best generalist armor, I would argue. It's made to go against like weapons most people will have. It's not going to go against everything, but again, when you're designing a campaign like this, at least this is more of a game designer perspective than a in-game perspective. If I design something, or if I have someone else design something that counters everything in the game, where's the fun in that? Like
there ain't any.
Yeah, it's a similar opinion of like when people do the entire Meter campaign in one ship. It's like, okay, but it's probably a massive ship. Like, I like being able to specialize my builds, and then like I play it like rock paper scissors, or like the old style RTS like Age of Empires, where like cav beats archers, archers beat infantry, infantry beats cav. So
that's actually a good note there. Is that if you're sticking to the Ashes volume limit, and if you're building tanks, you are probably, like, keeping them somewhat small-ish, because I found out the hard way that, like, giant tanks, it doesn't scale. This kind of thing where you have, like, a vehicle and just one big turret, it doesn't scale up very well. Like, I've built, like, if you've been keeping up with the channel for some time, one of my favorite things to build is a canoe monitor, which is just a big canoe with one big gun on it. That is a single point of failure. Single points of failure are kind of acceptable for, like, smaller designs like this, because, well, the whole thing is one single point of failure. It gets hit by one large missile or one cram shot, and it's vanished, basically. Probably not the Scarab, because it has so much heavy armor, but, like, you get the idea. If you scale up this nonsense, and here's a tank that I made originally to play through Steel Sovereigns, but at this point I don't think it's going to get used. It's called the Crazy Sled, and it's kind of dumb, and Rorsten, feel free to roast this. You'll notice it's a lot bigger than the other things.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so this is why I needed to get Rorsten in here, because, like, you can tell the difference in expertise between these two tanks over here and this fat thing. I actually made this originally just stupidly for fun, because it's got very questionable design decisions in it. For a start, it's made entirely out of alloy, and for a second thing, the AI is in the turret.
I see, okay, yeah, I'm looking at this going. So, the biggest point here, obviously, as you already covered, is alloy. This is a personal opinion. I'm not going to say this as, like, an umbrella fact. I really don't see any reason to use alloy in Ashes campaign.
No,
so if
you don't need to use Ashes.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to use that. Because, as someone who's addicted to using alloy, the main use of alloy is it's light. It's light and it's floaty. You will notice something about where we are now with these tanks is that we are on land. They do not need to float. And they're not flying either, so I do like to build like an alloy plane or an alloy airship, because that means less power to get them like up and flying, and also because they have less mass, they have less momentum, and it means they're more maneuverable. But a tank is kind of meant to be tanky, and like tracks and wheels tend to make things pretty maneuverable already, so this is just kind of silly. Honestly, like, the metal version of this, because I started off putting it in metal, actually was a lot better. It was significantly tougher. Alloy's weird like that. Like, the difference in health and armor between alloy and metal looks small, but it's amazing how that adds up. So yeah, a good tank is not made out of alloy. If you're making it out of alloy, you might as well be making it a hover tank, or a plane, or something like that. Or even a mini airship.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, on the flip end of this, though, do not purely make your tank out of HE, because that will affect your suspension on the tracks, which affects your clearance, and especially in the land adventure. Like, obviously, we're in a pretty flat area right now, if you look at the map around us, but you can see some hills in the distance.
Yeah. Yonder in the distance. Oh, that's another thing, probably, that's a bad thing about the Crazy Sled, is that it's actually too fast for a land vehicle.
Oh? How fast does it go? 146!
You will you will notice that the hull is entirely filled with custom jets, and originally I put those in there just to like provide some power to the wheels, because that is a good idea for a strictly land vehicle, because custom jet generators are very compact and very powerful. But then I thought, hang on a minute, why don't I just use those custom jets to go zoom? And it goes zoom. But the problem with that is that this thing does not play with hills very well. Before I stuck rubber on the front, it would commit suicide on them. Now that it has rubber on the front, it ramps off them, almost into space. So no, don't
really said he had places to be. Holy crap!
All right.
Oh, I just realized I was on the wrong microphone. I apologize.
Okay.
I was on my headset microphone.
I was wondering why you were a little quiet. Okay, well.
Oh, there we go. All right. I wish you.
We're a professional team here. Oh boy.
Well, I was on my wireless headset last night, talking with my friends during the watch party for the election. So.
We're not.
Whoops.
We're not doing.
Hello, chat. Hello, chat. This is my actual voice.
Okay, so we're not redoing everything we just did because it was good stuff. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Absolutely. Yeah, just put a little note in the top right saying that I'm a little silly.
Yeah,
that I was on the wrong microphone.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I think I'll try and remember to do that. But anyway, so I think for a good tank, if you're having to make it this fast, it should probably be flying. Because again, you can have hydrofoils and stuff like that on the water, and they can go speed similar to. You can see this thing wants to ramp off into space. It's why it has pitch control for a tank.
Yeah, I've never seen pitch control on a tank.
Yep, unique and special this thing is. It's called the Crazy Sled for a reason. Yeah, it still wants to take off. But yeah, so if you end up with something this fast and that requires like pitch and roll control. You really should probably make it a plane, because, like, this thing is a menace to anything it's sharing the road with, so to speak. I have seen, in combat testing, like, it's the problem you have with anything moving just on a horizontal plane. It can only avoid obstacles, including other vehicles, including friendly vehicles, on a horizontal plane. It can't, like, change altitude to do that, so... This thing has had some traffic accidents in the testing, so honestly, it probably doesn't need to be this fast. How fast does the Scarab go? Top speed of 45 meters per second.
Yeah. Kopech goes like 42, Scarab goes 45. 45 is like the average, I'd say, for most tanks.
Yeah.
Because that's just, basic engine plus the wheels on themselves. Most tanks and Ashes, I find, only have a few road wheels. So like the Kopech has less road wheels than the Scarab, but they're larger road wheels.
Yes.
So they have more power use, right?
Oh yeah, I think this is a thing I keep doing wrong with tanks, is I keep overdoing the wheels. You don't need that many, do you?
Yes and no. The more road wheels you have, the better it is in terms of like the faster you'll go. So like you'll see some of the Onyx Watch tanks, because they have doubled up road wheels. They go insanely fast compared to how you would imagine a castle tank would go.
Actually,
let me grab an example here.
Yeah, now that you mention it, like when playing Ashes, like those castle tanks, they go like absolute stink.
Where is the Sentinel is a small. The Sentinel. I love the Sentinel. He's just a little guy, so I'm gonna spawn him in.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, so you can see he goes the same speed as the Ever 2.
It's about 42 meters per second. It says here in the V menu.
Yeah, now he is smaller, but still, like for something like the Sentinel gets away with it because he's a little guy. He's a little scout. You can tell by all the radio equipment on his back. But there's some designs like let's say the Lucerne. I think the Lucerne is a siege tank, if I'm not mistaken.
And how fast does this go? It goes 48 meters per second.
Yeah, so like some of the bigger ones, because they have the doubled up road wheels, go incredibly fast compared to what you'd expect. This one's actually tripled up, now that I see it.
Yeah, 48 meters per second with a bulldozer blade on the front.
Yeah.
That's not unsafe.
Oh, okay, here, let me get rid of these ones. I actually have a great example of this, because I saw this happen to someone live on their stream.
Yeah?
I won't say who it was, because I don't know if they're okay with me saying it, because I joined a random Twitch stream for FTD. This was a few months ago. And I said, like, oh yeah, like, hey, like, I had a big hand in, like, making a lot of these designs. And they're like, oh, cool, yeah, we're about to go battle the Longhorn. I just... oh, it doesn't have its top... Oh, yeah, I forgot we changed it so it would be a surprise. So, the top speed of the Longhorn is significantly more than 38 meters per second. So, I'm just going to manually control this. Oh,
right, she's turning.
Turn off.
Oh, she's turning.
Let's turn off the AI. So, you can see as... the Longhorn is a ramming vehicle, yeah?
Yeah, it's got drills on the front.
So it also has boosters for when it gets close enough to ram.
Oh,
so
is that what those are?
Button, yeah, I think it's this button. No, it's not this button.
Is the button implemented?
I know it is. Like, I know it is if it spawns in an enemy. I think it only works if you spawn in an enemy. So let me handle that real quick.
Should we blow up our other tanks so they don't interfere?
Yeah. So I'm going to spawn in an enemy over on the side here. After you blow up the other tanks.
Okay.
I wanted to show you what the Longhorn can do, because it's hilarious to watch the Longhorn run something down.
Oh yeah, that's actually a fair point, is like, you are gonna get rammed in Ashes of the Empire, and if not that, you're also probably going to have a few whoopsies with like rough terrain or something like that. So it helps to make your tanks collision-proof as much as possible. Like, you'll note, like, the Crazy Sled is an extreme example, of course, because it's too fast for its own good, but, like, there's rubber on it, specifically so that if it runs into something, it doesn't die immediately. And, like, yeah, so...
I'm gonna spawn in a Kopesh?
Yeah, spawn in a Kopesh.
There we go.
Where is the Kopesh? It's hiding in the trees. Render distance.
Yeah, it's over in the trees there. Also, I forgot that the Kopesh had a lore now, which is hilarious considering I wrote that lore on stream. So I wrote that lore, submitted it, then promptly forgot about it, so I was just reading the Kopesh lore going, who the hell wrote this? So you can see here that the Longhorn's max speed right now is 66 meters a second.
Yep. And nom 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 nom.
Yeah, and obviously the Kopesh is also a ramming vehicle, so it's not going to be as cool as... Oh, never mind. There it goes.
Oh, right there, people. That's how you make a cram tank.
Yeah.
You drive straight at them.
But
I love that.
But yeah, so actually, yeah, the Longhorn is a fantastic example of a cram tank. Not so good at Onyx Watch just because it's a unique Onyx Watch unit for ramming. Not many other Onyx Watch tanks will do that, but conceptually, I love the little guy. He's so silly.
Yeah, I love it. Actually, so speaking of... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, just for reference, I know outside, I think maybe Spadici and I nerfed it, because this is Spadici's build that I helped him with.
Mm-hmm.
I think it used to go 98 meters a second.
Oh, that's fast.
Because we had steam jets on it, right? I think we nerfed it since then.
Okay.
But imagine this thing like so. If you're following the volume limit, this thing is twice or almost twice your volume. And imagine this thing coming at you at 98 meters a second, because ramming damage is based on mass in this game. So the craft with the larger mass, which will almost always be Onyx Watch, will do more ram damage. So you can imagine how terrifying this one was before pre-nerf.
Actually, yeah, that's honestly, like, if you're really struggling to make a decent like land vehicle for Ashes or just for fun, remember that ramming stuff is always an option. I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting melee weapons are a thing in From the Depths, which is bad because, like, in certain situations they're, like, not only really effective, they're also, like, very efficient, because you're just using the mass of the vehicle as the weapon. So it's like, yeah, ram stuff with your tank. Yeah. And speaking of weaponry, in my notes here, I've noted, like, here's the thing. In Ashes of the Empire, I think it's generally accepted that Hesh is going to be really good, simply because Hesh is pretty lethal against anything that has to stick to a volume limit, because you can't really do Spall Liner when stuff is this small. But also, Heat is a good option, so if you're going tank on tank, and if you've got longer shells, AP, HE, and Heat, generally good. Railguns, mwah. Railguns are just a great way to get short shells to do better things. But Rorsten, this is a cram tank on screen right now, and speaking as someone who struggles with tanks, but is also a cram addict, what are your thoughts on arming a tank with cram? Like, what would...
I think I think it works up until you get the white flares. And that's purely just because we just revamped, me and Bork and Cheesecake just did a full revamp of white flares. And by that I mean those two did the full revamp. I built like half a Ravager, got my name slapped on it, and then I've been handling most of the macro logistics there instead of the micro builds. So Bork and Cheesecake went through, redid all white flares for me pretty much. And,
okay, are they just too fast for friends?
I would argue yes and no. So here, let's spawn in a few white flare designs here. That's a good example. Let's spawn in. Actually, let's spawn in the Ravager. Let's do some stealth promo here.
Stealth promo. So, oh, I love a stealth promo. Oh lordy, this thing's terrifying. So, all right.
Yes. So this is what built up the new white flare style. This is the one I built. Potet did the gun. Bork and Cheesecake did a lot of the final decorations on it. But
oh wow, this is spot on for the volume limit. Jeez.
Yeah, no, it's I'm not gonna lie to you. We've gotten pretty silly with some of the volume limits. I need to go back and unsilly them because I originally did it to just get a style out, so then people could build off that style. It's how I like to build. So I will do a basic build, and then someone will see it. Oh, hey, I love that style. They'll do a build and probably vamp it up or build a smaller or bigger version of it, and then we just kind of build it out from there, and then we could build back in. And this way we don't miss anything when we're building. So like white flares right now. For this alpha test, like we missed something and some people got upset and it's like, okay, that's fine. Like we'll just fix it easy. But so like I think like there was like one like small little alpha test where I think we got confused on like the cargo craft versus the resource gatherer.
Oh,
so
right.
that was a slight issue, but that's been fixed now. There's no worries there. And then we just kind of go on for the style. So this is the new style. As you can see, it goes about 55 meters a second. The whole point of white flares in Ashes is that they're kind of sports cars mixed with tanks. That was the description I was given. But aside from that, I had I had free hands on the style. So we had fun with it. I'm really happy with how it turned out.
This is so cool. And something just occurred to me as like when I was looking at the behavior of this, because I was just oh, hey, you're named after it. Priest Rorstart. I mean, not you're named after it. The tank's named after you. My bad.
Yes. My my little team there thought it was funny because I restarted this design 7 times before I got one that I was happy with.
That sounds like tank design.
So Rorstart is quite a common meme in the community because I also tell people to restart their builds quite often.
Oh boy, what the hell? A disclaimer, I got up at 5 in the morning to collab with, like, the friggin' Rorston who's on Canadian time, so, like, I'm not firing on full cylinders right now. Anyway.
I got up at a solid, crisp 11:45.
Because somebody...
the collab started at 12.
Yep. Somebody stayed up till 4 a.m.
Yeah. We're both you woke up at 5 a.m., I stayed up till 5 a.m. We are not the same.
Nope. We're opposites, but similar in so many ways. Anyway, behavior. I'm just looking at the... and I noticed, like, the armor of the Ravager is like the ERA and the wedges is in the front. Would you say that it's pretty much always a good idea to, if you're going to make a tank, make it a front-sider over a broad-sider?
I'm going to argue yes on that one purely just because think of how tanks work IRL, right? There's very few broad-sided tanks in real life, and that design philosophy kind of goes into the game because most of your tanks are going to be one-and-dones. You're going to have one turret, you're going to have one gun usually, right? So invest in, like, Onyx Watch will do some silly setups. Deepwater Guard obviously will always be silly, but for most tanks in Ashes, it's hard to make a design that isn't a front-sider. Purely just because that's how tanks work. You want to be able to ankle that armor at the front. You want to be able to do all that, right? You'll see it in some AIs, not this one. This one's set up to ram when low health.
I noticed that. Cheeky.
Yeah, so all White Flare priest-style tanks, which are like the cleaner-style ones, because White Flare is split into priests and zealots. We'll probably explain that more in an Ashes of War video whenever I convince BorderWise to let me on for that. But
I'm convinced.
But their philosophy is like, hey, we're gonna stay at a distance and play like a proper tank and pick you off from a distance. But if it gets to a point where, like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go out in a blaze of glory. And so this one has a jet at the back, as you've probably noticed.
Oh, I did notice that. It has, like...
So, yeah,
it doesn't...
I think it's set up if it goes below 75, I want to say.
I mean...
But essentially, it gets to low health, and it's like, alright, cowabunga it is, my dudes, and go straight into it. And that's exactly why we got it at the highest volume limit. Because we wanted to be able to just go like, alright, cowabunga it is, and then charge into it.
Nice. I think it would be in the breadboard, right?
Actually, no, it's an AI. It's an AI behavior.
What makes it switch?
Oh, what makes it switch? Yeah, breadboard makes it swap. Sorry,
okay.
I misunderstood what you meant there.
Alright, so...
But,
I probably can't find it, like, because reverse engineering breadboard is, like...
Yeah.
Kind of difficult, but... Let's see there. Turn shields off with no enemies. Wow. There's so much bread in here. What the hell? Oh, wait, no, I found it. Vehicle health fraction if math and ride with low health. Math. And it controls the jet controller. Okay, found it. Right, we have gone so far off script, I don't remember what the hell... Actually, we've basically covered most things, really. Somehow.
Yeah, it's just... we've done pretty good in terms of script, because pitch control still doesn't turn off into space.
Yeah, so one note...
Heavy armor I should discuss more, actually.
Oh yeah,
I see it there. So, again, the reason why you don't want to do all heavy armor for your designs is because it will tank your suspension. Forgive the pun. But...
I just got it.
And so that will make it harder to get clearance on hills. And it will also make it more... Oh, he's about to ram you. Watch it. Watch out! But,
we're good. Actually, I want to spawn in an older tank I made so we can roast a little bit. And...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, where the hell did I put that? I actually used the Sonata somehow. It is the... Ironback, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this thing...
Oh, it's a Churchill! I love it! It's a Churchill!
I love the Churchill. I love what it looks like. Don't ram me, please. You're going to booty bump me. No, you didn't. Well done. But yeah, so... Looking at this thing in the past, firstly, it's slightly over the volume limit, but also, oh gods, it runs off RTGs. What was I doing? I think this thing almost overdoes the heavy armor, and this is a broadsider, by the way, because I was young and stupid and didn't know any better. But yeah, damn it, I love how this looks. Its performance was bad. But yeah, I think it was putting heavy armor too much, like, in the wrong... Look at, like, how much heavy armor is inside this. And there's no wedge, there's no, like beam slopes or anything like that. Yeah, nah, this is not great.
Oh, you could easily get this under the volume limit if you just replace some of these beams with wedges.
Oh yeah, just a few of them, really.
It won't help the fact that it's a broadsider, but like this is actually a really simple rework into a viable tank, I think.
Yeah. Okay, well that's encouraging. It also... Wait a minute. Oh, yuck, it has the AI touching heavy armor. Ew, get it out of here.
It's an artifact of the past. As an archaeologist, I can appreciate it.
Yeah, but just one last note on, like, front-siding, so to speak. The one thing I am kind of happy about with the snowboarder is if you look at the whole design of this thing, the AI is in the turret. It's got, like, it's very, very flat. It's just got a whole bunch of, like, it has... stuff that it's bad if it gets blown up, but it's not, like, game-ending if it gets blown up in the body itself. And ignoring the fact that bloody thing's made of alloy, look how much slopes and wedges are kind of like in the turret itself, so to speak. And the turret is the bit that turns and faces the enemy. So effectively, the turret is a little front-sided itself, and is just skidding along on this silly hull. So, if you want to make a broadsiding tank, you could try something like this. Like, I experimented with this, I didn't think it was going to work, and then it worked better than expected. Bearing in mind there's so much about this tank that's just really silly, but you are allowed to stuff all the important stuff into the turret and then just have it scoot around really damn fast. Like, I think that's viable, but I am going to defer to Rorsten here, who has built way more tanks than I have, and has built within the volume limit, so frontsider, unless you do something silly, perhaps.
I would agree with that. I'll show you an example of a broadside tank that we made for a campaign just a second here. I'm just seeing if you put your turret in the floor of your tank or not. You did not. Okay.
Nope, it is a pure deck turret. Hallelujah,
yeah,
cowabunga.
So the turret idea, if you sink it into the hull to be heavily armored, then I can see that it working. I personally don't like having internals in my turrets, though.
Yeah, no, it's not smart.
Here,
it's not smart. I didn't expect it to work at all, but then it actually did work, kind of.
Alright. So we have the Onyx Watch Bison here, and this is our broadside tank that we made. And well, I had Spoon make. Let's be honest. But I actually did work a little bit on this one, so I can take some credit here. But
oh, that's a fair point. Actually, it's like this thing has guns pointing on both sides, but if you make a dedicated left or right sider, that could work. That would work wonderfully.
So monociders. Yeah, keep in mind, a front cider is just a monocider facing forward. You can definitely do, like, broadside monociders.
Oh, I want to do that now. Oh, that'll be so fun.
Yeah. Obviously, Onyx Watch has the easiest time with broadsiders because it has the most volume, obviously.
Yeah.
And keep in mind with tanks when you get stuff like this, the one thing that's going to be really difficult is the fact that it has to turn, right? It's not like a ship where you can just kind of, like, keep going forward. Like, so this one can turn on a dime because it's a tank with tank steering.
Yep.
So that actually does make it better in some aspects compared to a broadside ship. But it's just one of those things you got to keep in mind. It's like, so like if you try to flank this fin, it's actually really funny because I saw this happen on someone else's stream because I like the lurking FTD streams on Twitch.
Oh, nice.
And someone went up against this, and it literally just pivoted directly to the right and just like sent a barrage at them and completely demolished them. And I was like, that is so entertaining to watch.
It's like, oh, this thing is a castle tank. It's slow and ponderous, right? Just
yeah. So
oh, I wish I could think of what's like. I don't know. It just like ballet music starts playing and starts spinning on the spot and shooting you. Oh, brilliant!
It just does a little pirouette and hits you both left and right side.
Boom.
Yeah. So this I'll say is like obviously this is not going to be what some people in the comments would define as meta. It's not.
No.
But it is a way to do a broadsider tank.
Yeah.
And it's pretty decent.
Alright, so to summarize, for the love of everything, don't look at the snowboarder. In fact, not snowboarder, the crazy sled. The snowboarder is my jet fighter. I need more coffee. But if you can spawn in the Scarab again, because I don't know, get this nonsense out of here. Like, go away.
The Ironback, sometime if you want, we can take a look at it together and we could rebuild it. I think it'd be a really fun project.
I think just, like, recording with you now, I have a whole list of ideas for how I can make that thing just a hell of a lot better.
Oh, you do? Okay, huge. I'm excited to see that.
Oh, I want to do that now. That's, like, here's the thing. Behind the scenes, for anyone who wants to make From the Depths content, sometimes it's when the video is almost, like, you've almost done recording or even editing the video. That's when it hits you, oh, damn it, that's what I should have done. I should have had the Ironback, shown it as it was, and then improved it in every single way possible and said, like, this is how now it's a better tank. Alas, too late, and now I've said that on video. Am I going to edit that out? Probably not. Let's just look at this, let's rejoice in the Scarab.
Yeah, so what we do there is we have this as one video, and then the next video we do the Ironback.
Oh, that would be fun.
It's content, but yeah.
Content.
I understand. Honestly, though, I understand though. Goldwater video. It's been 2 weeks away since January. I understand it.
Okay then. Well, brief summary of tanks is, well, first off, just looking at the Scarab here, front sider. It's kind of all or nothing.
Front sider, wedge armor, front sider. Honestly, if you keep it to one gun, it makes it a lot easier.
One
gun.
thing
we didn't cover about ammunition types.
I mean, we did cover heat and hash and AP and kind of stuff like that, but yeah, go on.
Yes, but flamethrowers and plasma are your friend for ashes.
Oh, I forgot about
flamethrowers
those.
especially because... So flamethrowers and plasmas were made specifically to counter dense hyper bricks. For those of you that know your FTD meta. Like, all your, like, dense cuss word bricks. And so, so that like it had the unintended side effect of completely ruining Ash's balance because a good plasma gun will just completely destroy Ash's. Now, this is on the flip side of the same can happen to the player. So White and Hoods is going to be eating good soon. But
because they're going to have a whole bunch of plasma weapons. Yeah,
they're going to have a lot of plasma. They're going to have a lot of like the incendiary laser. Like the fact that lasers get incendiary now is really good. Flamethrowers are super solid because they can reach those internals with fire and completely core out a vehicle.
Yeah.
And because it's so dense, you can't have those areas. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we didn't mention is that, like, if any time you're stuck with a volume limit, or if you want to make something small, the more compact weapons are, like, your friend, very much so. Damn it, I was about to end the video, but we've just hit upon something really important here. So, lasers are a struggle with tanks, because they're better when they're bigger. Advanced cannons are just always pretty good. Cram cannons, again, they're better when they're bigger, so you're gonna struggle to make a pure cram tank, like pound for pound, that can take on something like the Scarab, I think, if you're trying to do what the Scarab does. Missiles and plasma and flamethrowers, though, those are super compact, and so that's good tank stuff. That's good for any kind of, like, small compact design is stuff you want to, even if it's, like, expensive, an expensive thing that you can actually manage to jam into your tiny, tiny compartment is better than a big thing that makes your whole tank oversized, perhaps. So, yeah, the compact weapons.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all from me, though, so now, you're welcome, Chad, I gave you an extra 5 minutes of video, but...
Everyone thank Rorsten in the comments. Rorsten's a busy guy.
I think that's the biggest, takeaways, though, is, especially if you're following the volume limits, compact still is the way to go. Like, wedges are still the way to go, even though they do get hard countered by plasma and flame. But there's not many flame and plasma units yet.
Yeah, because even if, like, you run up against the new Lightning Hood stuff and they're using plasma, if you're using a lot of APS tanks with their wedges, you're going to out-material them simply because plasma is so expensive. So you are going to have a resource advantage there. So it's not, like, all one-sided.
Yeah, it balances out.
Yeah. So yeah, that sums it up pretty well. All the stuff that we talked about, which I totally remember because I was here for it. It's just like, if you're gonna, like, if nothing else, take away from this is, like, the Scarab is probably your yardstick if you want to make a tank. If you can make a tank that's, like, on par with this thing, you've made a good tank, I reckon. And, like, keeping the materials in mind, and just keeping small craft design in mind, like, yeah, it's possible. I have hope for myself now. I'm gonna go back and fix the iron bag. So anyway, thank you so much, Rorsten, for collabing with me, even though both of us were sleep deprived today. It was super cool of you.
Thank you so much for having me, and let me know when you get the iron bag done, because we could totally do a Kopesh versus iron bag fight. I think that'd be really fun.
I would love that. And also, shout out to Rorsten, who is a very active member of the FTD community, and also streams on Twitch, and also has a YouTube channel. I'll link all of that stuff in. Anything I've missed, Roar?
Aside from that, YouTube channel, I'm actually going to start using it again, I promise. So I mostly just do tutorials on the faction style stuff, if people are interested in that, so, because that's what I do. BorderWise is still the guy to go for tutorials, though.
Thank you! Go check out Raw stuff, though. If nothing else, because Raw builds stuff much more pretty than I do, so it's like...
Oh, that's not... You're gonna get there soon, I believe in you.
I will stick funky faces on all my craft, and then I shall be beautiful. Okay, then,
right,
Anyway, thank you, Rorsten, and thank you, all you lovely people, for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, not just to me, to Rorsten's channels as well. And support me on Patreon if you, or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps. And there's fun perks for you, like at the lowest level, you get access to a Patreon exclusive Discord where you can hang out with me and other cool people. And at the highest tier, I'll even build stuff for you, or do art for you if you're not in the mood for something built. Within reason, please do not expect me to build, like, the Scarab to, like, times 1000 scale. That will break my heart and my brain. But yeah, all within reason. Check out my other channels as well. There's like two VOD channels, another video game channel. There's 3 VOD channels, actually. If nothing else, the From the Depths Streams channel is for you, because I also stream on Twitch. So anyway, happy tank building.
Where was on Twitch?
So what?
follow BorderWise on Twitch.
And follow Rorsten on Twitch as well. Follow both of us on Twitch. We raid each other. It's great. If here's
True,
the thing.
it's a great time.
If you follow one of us, you're gonna get the other sooner or later. So you might as well save you might as well save some time. Follow both. All right. Thank you again, Roar, and thank you all again. And farewell.